Hey guys, David Calderon over here at Nutrisport, continuing our discussion on protein. Again, protein, there's a lot of questions about protein. Shoot, what is it? How much might I need per day? Do I need a supplement? Those are some of the questions we're going to answer today. Miguel and I briefly talked about some of the basics last week. We defined it. What is it? It's a tissue builder. It's a tissue repairer. Obviously, most of you guys want to go ahead and build muscle, lean muscle. What's the basic building block of muscle? It's protein. So if we want to build muscle, we need protein, guys. How much? Well, typically, roughly, good guesstimation, 1 gram per pound of body weight. That brings me to, okay, we need that much protein per day. If I'm 150 pounds, I need 150 grams of protein. One piece of chicken about that size has about 30. And all my customers, all my clients look at me when I say, yeah, this piece of chicken's got 30 grams. I need 5 of those? Yeah, you would have to eat 5. That kind of brings me to why we might need a supplement, or why a supplement might be advisable. Is it feasible, or possible I should say, to eat all your protein? I guess it's possible. I don't necessarily think it's all that realistic, because how can we eat that much meat on a daily basis? It's difficult. And there are times, obviously, where we need protein, and we need protein immediately. And chicken, fish, steak, turkey, those are good protein sources. Remember, guys, protein comes from meat. There's only so much meat we can eat on a daily basis. So I think a supplement, not only is it advisable, I think it's necessary. So, protein. It is a tissue builder. We need a good amount of it, 1 gram per pound of it, to build muscle tissue. There's no way we can eat enough protein, so a supplement becomes necessary. Miguel and I talked about some of the different types out there. You got your whey, you got your egg, you got your caseins, your caseinates, your soys. How do we kind of differentiate between, well, one protein being better than another one, or what makes one protein better than another one? Absorption. How much is going to be actually used or absorbed after we ingest it. And we usually score proteins according to absorbability. The higher the score, the better the absorption. Whey's got a 105, eggs got 100, soy's at like 72, caseins like 73 to 75. So, kind of my take-home message, whey is what we want to target. That's what we want to go after, because the absorbability with a whey protein, this is a good one right here, much better than all those other different fractions. Last week, Brandon and Candace Walker spoke a little bit about dosage, specifically the post-workout window, that being one time to take a protein supplement. There's certain times where we got to take protein supplements because the muscle tissue needs it now. And it can't necessarily wait for it to be broken down, digested, so food's not necessarily as appropriate of an option. So the protein supplement becomes necessary at certain times of the day, like post-workout. Like Brandon and Candace said, you got essentially a window that we have created, that we have opened during a weight training workout, during resistance training, and we got to make sure that we deliver protein immediately, within a certain amount of time after that workout, before the window shuts. What's going to ultimately be accomplished? You're going to improve recovery, recuperation from that workout. Whenever we train, we break down muscle. Muscle's made of protein. You're losing protein from that muscle. We got to put it back for repair, for recovery, and that's what a protein supplement post-workout accomplishes. A couple other times when we should take protein, guys. First thing in the morning. Why? We've been sleeping for at least 6 to 8 hours. What happens when we go for a period of time without protein, without food? Body starts to scavenge or burn or eat itself. What's it going to go after? It's going to go after muscle tissue. So we're in a state of muscle breakdown first thing in the morning. It's called catabolism. We want to reverse that as quickly as possible. How are we going to do it? Let's get a protein shake in us as soon as possible after we wake up. So that's the second time. First time, immediately post-workout so that you can get those nutrients back into the muscle cell. Before that window shuts, first thing in the morning, because you've been without for at least 6 to 8 hours. Hopefully you've been sleeping for that period of time, that duration. Let's get some protein in your system immediately in liquid form. That's another time to take the supplement. Third time, right before bed. Same reasoning. We're sleeping for at least, 6 hours, I would hope. Again, if we're going to fast because we're not going to eat or we're going to be sleeping, body is going to have a high probability of burning muscle tissue as a secondary fuel source. Doing a protein shake before bed gives the body that insurance policy that it needs, so it burns, if it wants to burn protein, what we've ingested, not from lean tissue. So those are 3 times. Post-workout, first thing in the morning, prior to bed. I think another good time, in between meals. You might go 4 or 5 hours in between meals. Same thing could happen. Your body could start to burn muscle tissue because it gets hungry. Don't want that to happen. Let's do a protein shake in between meals so that, one, well, we improve our protein intake. We get up to our protein requirement, which is 1 gram per pound. And secondly, well, we prevent muscle tissue breakdown. So that kind of addresses dosage post-workout, just like Brandon and Candace discussed last week, first thing in the morning, so that we reverse some of the muscle protein breakdown that took place while we were sleeping, right before you go to bed as an insurance policy, so you don't burn muscle, you burn what you ingest, and in between meals, so that we, well, negate muscle tissue breakdown, and we also increase our protein intake, which needs to be at 1 gram per pound per day. That kind of encapsulates dosage. Again, what I'd like to talk about next week, probably going to get into some of the other inferior protein fractions out there, casein being one of them, soy being another one. But just wanted to recap what we went over last week, wanted to define it, wanted to talk about what types are out there, wanted to talk about how much we need, when should we take it, and the reasoning behind why we're taking it at that time. Like I said, we'll get into different types next week. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit more info on protein. Any questions, any comments, any input, just go ahead and leave those comments below. And we will see you guys next week. Talk about types. Thanks, guys.